too shiny. Fuck. Yeah. It doesn't even look that reflective, but yeah, it looks too reflective. Fuck. Oh well. Fuck it. One take. So, hopefully it edited that part out. I doubt it will because it doesn't anymore. Things acting like a bitch. But anyway, it's the end of the year. It's the end of 2015. We're moving on into 2016. And I wanted to talk to you guys about what I thought were the best anime of 2015. Now, we had a lot of good shit in animes this year and a lot of horrible shit, which you heard me complain a little bit about. But let's just talk about the good shit right now. And if you're wondering, I will do another video about my top 10 favorite anime moments of this year. Not anime fight scenes, anime moments. There will be fight scenes in the list, but it's overall moments. Whether they were sad, happy, or indifferent, I will talk about them. But this list specifically, my top 10 anime of this year, this is how I decided what went onto this list and what qualified. 1. Anime that did not air this year do not count. So obviously, One Piece did not count. But if the season aired this year, but the first season of the anime aired last year or 2 years ago, I will count that because some anime are carryovers from last year, and some anime stopped last year and had a new season this year, and yada yada yada. So I had to take that into account. Second, this is my top 10 list. This is not the fans' top 10 list. This is not people overall impression of the anime. This is my list. You cannot complain in the comment section about things that are my list. I hate it when people complain about things that are opinion and not fact. Okay? It is my top 10 list. If you don't like my top 10 list, go make your own top 10 fucking list. Fuck you. Anyway, let's get into it. Please do not enter this room. I am ranting right now for the next 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Would you give me 10 minutes? I can hear you 10 minutes! The struggles to which I have to endure. Anyway, only got 12 minutes left. Hopefully I can talk about all the 10 of these. And alright, so I got my list right here, and I'm gonna have to run through it. Okay. So, number 10 is Maria the Virgin Witch. Now, this is one of those shows that when I saw it in the upcoming anime list, I was thinking, yo, this shit looks stupid. This shit looks like, it looks like a generic, slightly boring, middle-aged magic shit. It's probably gonna be boring as fuck. And the Virgin Witch part makes it sound like that show, Jane the Virgin on the CW. It's probably going to be something boring, slice of life, but just so happens to have magic in it. I felt that before I saw the show, but when I actually saw the show, it intrigued me. The art style isn't superb, but it's at least interesting. The animation gets decent. I'm not going to say it's bad in any way, but it's not so phenomenal that I'm going to go raving about the animation. The series is good and it's interesting. It revolves around a witch, Maria, who is in the struggle between the war between the French and the British. England and France are at war, and tons of people are killing themselves in these wars and each other. And because of it, she's decided to step in, summoning up various types of monsters to persuade the soldiers to lay down their arms and stop fighting. She essentially stops the war. But due to her intervening, Heaven has decided to threaten her, saying that if they catch her doing this again, they will kill her. The story gets really interesting from that point on. And it's already 5 minutes in. Holy fuck, I have to be quick. Number 9. I hope I'm pronouncing this. Grisaia no Rakuen. So, I saw the first season of this, and then I immediately saw the second season, which is Grisaia no Rakuen. This show is really good. it revolves around a transfer student. Yeah, it's a stereotypical generic transfer student who is the only guy in an all-girls school, but there are only like 5 actual students there, and it's not really a class. It's more like a school for like specialized individuals, and we go through the life of the people. Now you would think, oh, this sounds like a generic fucking probably harem slice of life comedy. It's not. It actually gets very deep, really intellectual, and downright terrifying at points. I honestly had points where I was in utter shock and in utter disgust. The human beings in this story are real. They're realistic people, and they have realistic reactions to really fucked up shit happening. My favorite character in this series is Makina. The only problem is I do not like how they sexualize young characters like that. The lolicon shit is weird to me. What the fuck is with y'all? Anyway, that's number 9. I forget. Oh my god, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm not gonna have transitions from 1 through 10. I don't know why I'm doing this. Anyway, number 8 was Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. I read the manga for Yamada. It's a really good series. It revolves around this dude named Yamada. He's a generic sort of thug character. He's not like actively trying to like cause shit, but shit happens to him and he just so happens to fight back, where he falls down on a girl one day and wakes up the next day in that girl's body. Finds out body switching. But it's not the stereotypical Freaky Friday shit. It turns out that he has the ability to copy other witches' abilities. And there's a sort of legend in the school that every year there is 7 witches. Why does he have the copy ability? Why are there 7 witches? How the fuck is this happening in the school? And why does no one else know about it? It's an interesting story, but it is ultimately a comedy slice of life, and it's more fun than it is thought-provoking. Can't tell you what it isn't. Number 8. No. Oh my god. That was number 8. This is number 7. My bad. Kuroko no Basket Season 3. I can't really even talk about this because if you haven't seen Kuroko no Basket 1 and 2, you're not going to understand Season 3. Season 3 is just the ending of the manga, a wrap-up of the series, and it's really good because it was one of those few anime adaptations that actually followed the manga to the very end. I really enjoyed it. If you're a sports fan, your feelings on this show might be indifferent because I've heard a lot of people say, oh, it's really accurate, they stick to the rules, and it's not too far off, but I've heard other people just utterly in disgust. And my personal thing is, I'm not really a sports fan, but it wasn't like Prince of Tennis where these people throw shots and fucking waterfalls come out everywhere. It wasn't illogical like that. It might have some parts where you feel like, oh, that's complete bullshit, but that's up to you to decide. I enjoyed the series, I enjoyed the ending, I enjoyed the manga, and if you like the Kuroko manga, you should know the Kuroko Extra Game series that comes after the manga is out and still ongoing, so check that out. It's a fun fucking series. Yeah. Number 6, Death Parade. Another one of those anime that I slept on and really didn't, like, find it interesting, like, until I saw the first episode. So I know that there's a movie before this show came out called Death Billiards with the same sort of cast of characters. I didn't see it, but I know it exists. Death Parade is essentially Purgatory meets Saws. When people die, they come to this area where, I guess, what do they call them? Arbiters test them on their lives. The people have fleeting recollections of their past, and the only thing they really have at the moment of entering the room is their name. They go through a test. Normally, the test will define what kind of person they are. Whether they were a hate-filled monger, whether they're the type of person who abused and beat their wife, whether they're the type of person who mistreated others or did something wrong in their life, they'll be sent to either one of 2 places: the void or reincarnation. Not heaven or hell, the void and reincarnation. It's a really interesting story. It really is fucked up in sort of ways. But I think the best part about it has to be the really humanizing aspects of the series. It really makes you question what it means to be human, especially if you're on the outside looking in. Next, number 5, Charlotte. So Charlotte is again one of these series that I slept on. A lot of these series I slept on because I didn't think they would be interesting. Charlotte started off as a generic sort of supernatural slice of life. It goes in talking about how there are adolescents, and it's been happening for like I guess since the beginning of time. Some adolescents have supernatural abilities given to them by the time they hit adolescence. By the time they're teenagers, they'll normally have some sort of supernatural ability pop up, and by that time, they will. Fuck. Oh my god. Oh, by the time they're adults, that ability will disappear from them. Now, there are various aspects of this show that I frankly are too deep to talk about. It's one of those shows that I felt got progressively, I wouldn't say emotional, but more, I wish that it had given me some sort of inkling to how it would have turned out. I feel as if not halfway through, but around episode 4 or 6, the series goes too serious too fast. It had a very strange feeling, and I don't know really how to describe it. It's worth watching. Let me just say that. It's worth watching. Also, the main character has one of the most overpowered anime abilities I've ever seen. It is literally the most hack I've ever seen. It makes Bambina's testicles from Toriko look like nothing. In fact, this dude is so overpowered, he can literally make Bambina look like a bitch. That's how overpowered this dude is. He can technically be the most overpowered being in, like, anime multiverse. Is that serious? And shit, I'm almost at 15 minutes. There's no way. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to split this into 2 parts. So, let me just try and wrap up one more before we go into thing. Okay, number 4, K Return of Kings. This was a really good series. I personally was mad hype about K Return of Kings, and I gotta say, by the end of the series, I wasn't I'm not saying the hype didn't lead up to it, but the hype sort of overhyped me a little. Like, let's say this is my mark for how hype I was. This is kind of like where it was. Not that it wasn't really good, it was just the hype sort of polluted my mind into thinking that it would be way better than it was. One, Shiro comes in like episode 3 or 4, I think. He shows up at the end of episode 1, but he doesn't actually do anything until like episode 3 or 4. It's weird. And we finally get to see all of the kings. Besides the colorless king, we get to see all of them: silver, blue, green, gold, gray, red. It was just, you get to see them and their powers and their clan, and you get to see what it means to be a king. The ending episode is kind of meh to me. I can't really complain, but I can't really say I liked it. The others were like really good, and K, just like how it's always been, has really, really good art style. The powers and the effects on it, oh my god, it looks awesome. Anyway, I guess I'll have to save my top 3 for another video because there's no way I can do it in the next 30 seconds. I will see y'all for that.